Why did Paul say, if another comes preaching another Jesus? Second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 4, says, for if he who comes preaches another Jesus whom we have not preached, or if you received a different spirit which we have not received, or another gospel which we have not accepted, you will put up with it. This is to say, I've already told you that I was given the gospel for you, the Gentiles. Now you're going to allow for Peter to come and preach Jesus before the cross? That's why he tells them there in Galatians 3:1. Let's look at Galatians 3:1. Bless all foolish Galatians. Who has bewitched you so you should not obey the truth, before whose eyes Jesus Christ was clearly portrayed among you as crucified? As it's to say, he's already crucified. How are you going to continue presenting him as Jesus of Nazareth? Remember that the apostasy in the final days deals with mixing Jesus of Nazareth with the risen one. It's not that we are against Jesus of Nazareth. To the contrary, we are honoring his death. He died to place you after he was risen from the dead. And that's where you have to place your eyes, because after he was risen, Paul is the only one that teaches him in the power of his resurrection. So I will end by saying this. The prevarication consists of killing Paul, to Judaize with the old covenant, to preach another Jesus. And who were they? We will end with this. How did Paul think of the apostles? Second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 13 through 15. This is what Paul thinks, and I do also. How about you? Do you think this way? Verse 13, for such are false apostles. The only apostles that exist back then, it was Peter and the rest of them and Paul. This Paul says those 11 are false apostles. Deceitful workers. They transform themselves as apostles of Christ. Don't wonder, because Satan also transformed himself as a minister of light. So therefore, don't be, surprised even if ministers transform themselves ministers of righteousness, whom their end will be the Vatican exploding in fire. That's going to be destroyed. It's going to come an earthquake that's going to blow up that city. And how I rejoice that that's going to take place, because that's what their own book says in Revelation, that the Vatican will be consumed in fire.